How's it going, Greg?
All right, here. Good to meet you.
You too, man. You too.
Look, so what I really enjoyed about this movie was it is a zombie comedy, and there are moments of that, and it's great to watch on an aesthetic level. But really, this movie, in my opinion, is really about the challenge of finding friends in a very lonely world. Can you speak to that sort of human theme behind this movie?
Yeah, this film we could have done in a completely different way, couldn't we? I feel like you can take this script, pull out a few of the jokes, and you can make such a interesting, sensitive, like social commentary on people who deal with these kind of issues and struggle in this way. But we've obviously chosen to take a really light-hearted approach to it, which I'm glad for my character. It makes it a lot more kind of light-hearted and fun. But yeah, I think Max said earlier something about that I really agree with. That is, if you're lonely and struggling to find friends, don't fall into the trap of feeling like you need to change and be similar to other people. Just keep being yourself and find things that you enjoy and do them, and hopefully you'll find friends through that. So yeah.
Max was talking about the area this movie was shot in, and I was asking him if it was a very idyllic location, and he was talking about just really bonding with the cast and crew on this movie in the wonderful hotel. What was that in the whole area? What was this experience for you like? Was the location as idyllic and beautiful as it looked on screen?
It really, really was. Even more so, the kind of hotel we stayed at was a hotel, but a very homely one, and it was just us there because of lockdown. It was just the cast, and it was right by the sea with a lovely bench overlooking the beach and the sea, and it really was idyllic, and all the sets that we actually shot on as well were so too, and it just made for such a kind of enjoyable, relaxing kind of process. But also the fact that we were all staying there together allowed us to really bond in a way that when we went in the following days to film as a family, we really felt like we'd had the time to play cards together and have a meal together. And I think the setting that we were in really allowed us to enjoy ourselves and feel like a real family.
I really loved your work in silencing from a couple years back. I mean, I'm sure that part has its own joys, but what was the joy in creating this character? Because I'm just trying to compare these just
Yeah.
night and day
Thank you so
performances.
much. Thank you for
Yes.
saying that. Yeah, completely. I think that's the beauty of acting for me, is doing one role and then having the next one be completely different. We're so lucky to be able to bring such different characters to life and be trusted by directors, casting directors to play completely different characters. And you're so right. I think the amount of trauma and vulnerability and stress that the character in Silencing is under compared to this character Mitch in The Loneliest Boy is he's when I first read the script, I was honestly thinking like, he's dead. He has nothing to lose, and he just plays a happy-go-lucky, fun friend. And this is going to be something that I'm going to enjoy the process of. And secretly, watching the movie, I realized Max does all the hard work, and I'm just there having fun. So it's nice and refreshing to play such a different role to anything I've done before.
A curious question about the audience. What's it like to watching a film that you've worked really hard on for a while and to see it with a big audience? Is it an erotic feeling? Are you fully engaged in the reactions? Is it nerve wracking? Is it maybe all of those things?
Yeah. No, the feeling of watching in a theater with people who actually really want to be there, and the vocal kind of like feedback that you get is something that I'm literally this month from going to see the Woman King premiere and this premiere. The after fans are so ridiculously supportive that I'm almost overwhelmed by that. So when I play a smaller role in a different film without maybe that many supporters, it's always really nice to see which bits do they find funny, which bits do they, because sometimes they won't laugh at the bit you expected them to, but they'll laugh out loud at the bits that you didn't. And it's always really fun gauging firsthand what people think, because yeah, when you're living in it, your opinion of what's going on is so skewed. It's like when you read the same sentence over and over again, it kind of stops making sense. So you do need to defer to the people who are seeing it for the first time, and I always really enjoy that process.
Here, a couple more questions, just right from your resume, even though you don't have 500 movies on IMDb, but just from your movies and TV shows. After watching this movie, where would you want people to see next from your body of work? Maybe a movie or project that you feel is underrated or should be seen.
Yeah, in terms of what projects I'd want to do next.
Oh, from your resume, from what would you have people actually watch next after this movie?
Of the stuff I've already done.
Yeah,
You
yeah, that
know
you feel
what?
is underrated or overlooked, maybe. So,
You know what? It's not necessarily underrated or overlooked, but the Woman King, I'm so excited for people to see. I'm just so proud of the other cast in that, and I'm proud of my work too. But I'm just so grateful to have worked alongside such amazing people, and the way though they brought those characters to life. Everyone, I'm not even going to say names because everyone in that cast is amazing. So I'd love people to see that. But since you mentioned the silencing, I loved working on that. I loved working with Nikolai. And I love films like that. I love like dark psychological thrillers where you don't know what's happening and there's tension, high stakes. I would love to do more films like that. So yeah, definitely, I think that would be up there for something that maybe might be a little bit overlooked.
Here, final question. Can you, right off the top of your head, can you name one of your all-time favorite films? And what is it about the specific film that still resonates with you today?
Okay, cool. So Shawshank Redemption and Pulp Fiction are up there, but because they're like IMDb up there, so I won't touch on them. I'm going to use a more kind of unique answer. There's a French film called The Untouchables that I absolutely love. And Bryan Cranston and Kevin Hart did the remake. I can't remember what they called it, but the original, the French one, is just beautiful. It's just got so many different tones of comedy and sensitivity and just like the relationship between the two of them. I don't want to ruin it because I want people to watch it, but the French film, The Untouchables, is one of my favorite films. I think it's just so sensitive and nuanced and has a little bit of everything. So I'd tell people go check that out.
Here, thank you so much for your time. Really enjoyed your film.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Greg. Really enjoyed talking to you.